Hello everyone, Vinay here. Welcome back to my channel Learn Coding with Vinay and the playlist ASP.NET Core MVC. Now this is the second part of the video where we are building CRUD operation using core first approach. In the first part, we went over project setup, migration, master data seed, and implementing CRUD operation for master entities like department designation and projects. Now, this is the second part, part number two, video number two basically. Here we will implement the CRUD employee. We'll go over validations. We'll use view models for data binding. We will have a very big form for employee creation that will also have a child details for project which employee is working upon. We'll implement the logical delete and obviously we'll improve the design using Bootstrap classes. Right. So let's dive further into this. Let me open up the Visual Studio and let me run the project once, right? So these are the master data we have already done with, we have implemented the CRUD operation in part one. And now in this video, we'll continue with the employee one. So let's start with creating the CRUD functionality for employee. So let me close this. Now, before we move ahead with the CSAP code, I would like to show what we have in employee table and employee projects table. Right? We already had few data in when we seeded the database in the first or second migration. We had these two few data in these two tables, employee and employee projects. Now let's move further over here. Let's start with employee CRUD operation. The first thing we need to do is we need to add a new controller for employees, right? And we will be using scaffolding to auto generated code, and we'll use that auto generated code to modify as per our need. So we'll say right click, add new controller, we will use the third option, say add. So let's select from the model, we will have to select employee. Database context class looks good. Let the controller name be employees controller, and let's add and wait for a while. Yeah. So scaffold has generated the employee controller over here. And let's go and check the views also. We have views. In that we have employees and we should have default templates created for all the views. Okay, so things are in place. Now next thing we need to do is to let's fix the menu. So earlier we have just added the menu but not specified the controller and method name. So let's do this. So let's make this should be an employees, and this should be index method. Let's change this to index method. Okay. We save this, close this file, and let's go to employee controller. Let's look at the code once. So we have index method, okay. We have details method. We have create get, create post, okay, excellent. And we have similarly edit get, edit post, and we should have delete get and delete post as well. So capsule gives us this default method, and that we can change based on our need, right? But just to save time, we can use this, get the I generally practice this, get the code generated using scaffold and do the changes whatever we want later, right? So let's run this and see how does it look like. So I have run the program. Let's click on employees and let's see if we get all the employees listed over here. Yeah. So we can see the employees are displayed over here. Now let's make this a little wider actually. So what do we need to do? We'll go to Visual Studio, we'll go to sad layout.cshtml, and there we have this as container. Let's change it to main, save it, and let's see. Yeah. So now we can see that the content are widely across the screen. Let's give it a good space. So after changing this, let me give px, I would say, horizontal padding. We just give 2, and let's see. So let me show you. Okay, so px did not make that difference. Let px2, let's make it px4. Save it and let's see. Yeah, now it looks little okay. Now we can see the employees are listed over here. Now with this screen, and at this screen we have few problems. Like first of all, we are displaying all lot of details. Like not necessarily we should be displaying all details in the listing page itself. Right. Second, if you see department and designation, they are actually the IDs of department and designation, not the name. Right. So we'll work on this, step by step. So first, let's just reduce the number of columns over here. We don't want to display everything. Right. So one quick way to do this is to just hide this column which are not required, right? But that is not a optimum way of doing coding, because we are bringing lot of data, and out of that lot of data we are displaying only few. So that should not be the case. Ideally, how we should code is just bring whatever required. Let's say that we want to display only few columns of the employee table. So basically, let's say ID, name, designation name, department name, mobile email, and whether that employee is active or not is active, right? The rest of the details, if someone want to see, they can go to either detail button or edit button and see, right? So let's work on that, reducing number of columns. For that, what do we need to do? First we need to do is to create a view model, right, with the required columns. So let's do that. Let me come here, let me stop the program. What I'll be doing, I'll be creating a new folder dedicatedly there for view model. So let's say right click. Just say right click, add new folder. We'll give it a name, view models. View models. Sorry, not models. And in the same folder, we will create a new class, new VM class. Let me go ahead and add a class named employee list VM. Let's give it a name, employee list VM. Add, and let's have the required properties in that only. So I have the property listed already with me. I'll just copy paste and explain. Right. So what we are going to do, we are only taking few columns: ID, name, designation. This will be name of the designation, department name, mobile, email, and IsActive flag. Right. This is the only thing we want to display. Let's move to the next step now over here. Now, if we go to employees controller, in the index method, what we are doing, we are bringing all data right here. Instead of this, we will have to bring now only few data, right? So instead of this code, where we are just bringing employee, we are bringing designation and department table also using include, but we are not bringing the name of the department and name of the designation, right? We are bringing the entire child entity, basically department and designation all entities. But since now we are not displaying everything, we are displaying only few things. So we need to replace this code with the code I have, and I'll explain that code. Let me copy paste it, right? So let me correct the namespace for this, because it is into the view model folder. So let's say using our project.view model, and now the error should go on. Okay, excellent. Now what we are doing, this remains the same, but only thing, rather than bringing everything, we are just bringing few columns over here, and that too as a part of list of this employee list VM, right? And we are sending it to the index view. Now let's run this and see how does this look like. Actually, before we move to running the program, what we need to do, we need to fix this actually. Now this is not employee. Now it has to be employee list VM, and this has to be from employee view models, right? Now let's save this, and now with this we have few errors, right? We don't have certain columns that we are supposed to remove, so let's remove it. And let's, instead of, okay, up to here we don't want. This is good, and this is now should be only this designation, right? Okay, so this looks good. Let me save this, and now we'll have to run. Okay, so I have run the program. Let's click on employees, and let's see what is happening now. So ideally we should see a table list with fewer columns. See, now we can see only name, email, mobile, IsActive, department, and designation. Right, so this looks good. And let's at the same time, fix this. This is not index now. Ideally, it should have employee list or employee something. Let's move this create new button over here somewhere, and let's convert all the links on this page to button. So for that, what do we need to do? We already did it in the department index page. So let me refer the department index page over here. I'm opening the department index page. Let me copy this section. Let's go to our employee index. Rather than this, we will be we will have this. Right. So what we, this is not department, this is employees. On create, now we have converted the create link to create button by just applying the class button and btn primary. So it will appear in blue color. And down below we will be using the similar kind of thing. Let's say, wow, what we have used over here, we'll use the same thing. Okay, so we'll take this class for edit. We will take this for details. Right, so basically, edit we are marking it as primary, detail we are marking it as info class, and delete we are marking it as danger so that it appears in red. So let me save this. Let's move to the screen and see the changes. Right, excellent. So this is employees now. Looks good now. This is create new employee. Now the buttons are changed to this outline button. This looks good. Right. Let's also change this table heading color to something dark or something. Let's say, let me go here, and this is table head. Let's say class is equal to table dark. We'll say table hyphen dark, and let's see how does it look like. Or let's say how does department look like. We make it similar to this. Okay, so we haven't applied over here, but let's keep this over here. Right. So now it looks good. Okay, so this is good now. Now let's click on this details page, right, and see what is happening. Right. So we have details page over here, but here also the same problem. Right. We have department IDs and designation IDs, not the name. So let's try to work on the detail page now. Okay. So one more thing I missed over here is, apart from just displaying this name, we should also display the project name of the project, employees associated with it. Right. That information is also missing. So we'll be adding that also. So for those information, we will have to create again a new view model basically. So let's create that. Let me stop this, and let's create a new VM view model called employee details VM. So I'll go to view models, right click, add class, and let's give it a name employee detail VM, add it, And in this, what do we need? We need to have the all detail, and for employee department and designation ID, actually we need names of those and list of projects as well. So I have the ready properties. What do we need? Let me copy paste it over here, right? So we need almost all information, but rather than for department and designation just the ID, we need names. And for projects, since employee and projects are many to many relationship, we'll have to list down all project and employees associated with it. So we have taken the projects as list of string property because we just need name over here. Let me save this view model, and let's change our employee controller method, edit detail method accordingly. So if I go over here, what do we see? We are including this again, but we are not taking the IDs. So we are taking the IDs, we are not taking the names, and we will also have to add the project details also. So let's let me grab it. So I have change the code of details method. What we are doing now, from the employee we are retrieving employee details, but for department and designation we are retrieving the name of those two properties. And since employee model is our actually prime entity, which is closely mapped to our database table, right? And while displaying, we might need ID, we might not need ID, and we need to display the real names. So we created the dedicated VM for it, and now we are filling that VM with the required details. Right? So here we are putting name, here we are putting designation name, and for projects we are taking it from employee projects table, right? And we are taking from there also, we are taking only the name. And let's say we save this, and similar way, just we need it for index. We'll have to change the model in the detail section of the employee. So this will not be employee now, employee details VM, and this would be from view details. How this works? Right, okay. So these details are okay. Now instead of this, I think we don't need this. This will be only department, and this will be only designation because they are marked as string property, right? And let's display the project details also now. So for project details, we need to make a loop of whatever projects are there. So I have copy pasted the code for displaying the project. What do we need to do is that we need to loop through our model's project property and display the project name. Right. So let's run it and see how does it look like. So let's go to employees, and once it is loaded, let's click on the details button. Let's click on details. Yeah. So we can see now the department name and designation name, and we can see projects long listed over here. Let's try to take this project actually display over here, somewhere over here. So what do we need to do for that? We will have to divide. We will have to use Bootstrap grid for this, right? So what we are supposed to do? We will divide all this data into two columns, right? So let me take this, and let me copy it over here. Let me. So if you are not aware, Bootstrap actually divides our viewport into 12 columns, right? So what we are doing over here, we will divide the our viewport in two section, two deep of 6 length, right? So we can align our controls accordingly. Let me quickly do this. So in the first section, what we will be doing? Let me enter over here, and let me press enter over here. So in the first, what we will be doing? We will take this the entire detail section up to this guy. We'll go up, just paste it over here, and in the second section, we will take this. So Let me go here and copy paste it over. Let me see Control KD to align the code, and let's save it and see if it works well. So it has displayed it, but it has displayed on the top. So let me realign few things. Let's go to this guy instead of this. It is too big. Let's make it little small, and then this. Let's have this as employee details. Let's remove this guy. Let's remove this guy. Okay, and let's see how does it look like now. Okay. So little better, but let's improve further. Let's improve it further. So right, so I have converted. Let me tell you what I just did. It was quite simple. I just took out this employee details from here to outside of the parent div and converted the links into button as well. And now the UI looks little better. Right, so employment time is actually a little overlapped. Seems to be little overlapped. So let's see what's the problem over here. It's employment type. It's employment type. That's the over here. So let me make this actually 3 because it is displaying in 2 columns. Let me make it 3. Oh, that actually totally. And so let me make it 2 only. And instead of type, I'll just say type, employment type. Let's see now. So now it looks good, right? So now our details page is working fine. Now let me go back to the list. Let me click on delete. Right. So on the delete also we have the similar kind of information, but here again we are having ID, we are having designation IDs, and we don't see the project details. Ideally, we should display all possible details. So let's do that, right? So we will be using the same details view. And what we need to do is we will be using the same details view. Okay, so this one will take this entire thing, and let's go to details view. What do we have? Sorry, delete view. What do we have in the delete? Right, so we will replace this guy. Let me see what we are trying to display. Okay, so we'll display, this is good, this guy with this. And let me, if I save, we'll have a lot of error. So now this is employee details VM, and it is supposed to come from view models. Model views. Let me see. It is model views. Model views. Oh, sorry, and it added it. It should be view models, not model. Right. So this is good now. I've saved it. Let's see how does it look like. So So we have error. Let's correct that. View data dictionary employee list. Okay, let's correct that. Okay. So the error was actually, yeah, because since we changed the view model, we are supposed to retrieve this data also, right? So that was not done. So let me stop this. So whatever we did in employee details method, that similar thing we'll have to do it in employee delete as well. So if I go to employee delete get, let's go to delete get method. So we have this. Okay, so we are supposed to replace this code with the code we have it in details method, right? So that we are passing, now we are passing the correct view model, right? We are in good shape. Let me make this H4 actually. Are you sure you want to delete this? Okay, so this is one row and this is the, now let's run this and see. So let's go to employee. Let's wait for employee screen to load. Let's go to delete. Now we can see lot of details over here, but we are seeing edit and back to list button also. So let's remove that. We don't need them. On delete screen we don't need them. On edit we need. So let me save this and let's see. So excellent. Are you delete on this? Okay, so we should have actually. Are you sure after that we should have one HR tag or data line? That way it will look better. So let's say this. Okay, now delete. Are you sure you want to delete this? Okay. So now we are displaying the proper information just like we had it in details page. We are displaying it on the delete also. On the delete, we will work on delete functionality later, and we will not be working on physical delete. We will be working on logical delete. So on delete button of this, we will just update this flag, not delete the entire record, right? Because employee details are ideally never deleted from any organization, right? They are there always. Let me quickly change it back to list to secondary button also. This is supposed to be class btn btn. It has to be outline second outline. Let me save this and let's see if the changes are reflected. Right, so this is good. Now let me go to back to list. Right. So our index page is good, our details page looks good. Right. Let me go back. Our delete page looks good, right? So we get a kind of consistency in all this. Let me go back to the employee list now. Yeah, so basically our employee listing details and delete, this UI are looking good at this moment, right? So I wanted to continue in this video itself, but due to some technical problem, we will continue on create, edit and actual delete in the next video. Right? So that's it in this video. I hope you are enjoying this. Stay tuned for the final video. Thanks a lot, guys.